Welcome everybody to our first cooking demo online. I'm really pleased to be here with Kyaundra. Kyaundra is actually our new vegan chef here at Stage Integrative Health. She's also a nutritionist and she's our social media manager. So we're excited to have her here. And when I found out that Kyaundra was a vegan chef, I got very excited because I did cooking demos in person pre-pandemic for many years and was thrilled to have someone that I could kind of pass the baton to because I always also did vegan cooking demos. So I was very happy that Kyaundra could take this on and present it to all of our folks out there at Sage Integrative Health. So Kyaundra, without further ado, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and everyone, if you could just please keep your microphones muted when you come in. That
Yeah.
would be great to just help with the background noise. So Kyaundra, tell us a little bit about your background. How did you get to become a vegan chef?
Well, hello everyone. I'm Kyaundra. I'm excited to be here today. This is my first cooking session that I've done with a full setup and everything. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Became a vegan chef probably around 2019. Is when I really got into my veganism for my own health benefits because I suffer with lupus and alopecia. And so I told myself that I needed to change the way that I ate and things in that nature. And so I kind of just stuck with being a vegan one day. I just kind of dove right in and I haven't gone back since. And I've seen significant improvement with my lupus and things. And then as far as becoming a chef, a self-taught chef, it kind of started when I was in my undergraduate program. And I kind of got tired of eating ramen noodles, which is basically what every college student does in the beginning, as well as eating a lot of like fast food at the time. And so when my best friend and I got our first apartment, I was like, I'm going to just start cooking and kind of bring my childhood into our apartment. And so I was making a lot of Trinidadian dishes where my mom is from. And it kind of just came naturally to me and I kind of just stuck with it. And throughout the years, as I got my master's degree in nutrition, it just kind of became who I am today. So I'm excited to kind of show you guys a very simple, fun, gluten-free vegan recipe today. We will be making a one pot. So all you need is one pot. I'm going to be using my cast iron skillet because I've just been using it all week. So I'm just going to be using it today. We have some chickpea rotini here. And I measured it out because it's just me in the house. So I only measured 1 1/4 cups of pasta, but obviously if you have a large family, feel free to use the entire box. And then you can really throw in any type of veggies you really want to. I decided to do a zucchini and a red pepper with tomatoes. So I have that here. And then I'm going to be adding in a red onion. And then I made a vegan bouillon sauce or seasoning with just paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, oregano, salt, and pepper. So very simple ingredients, and it's a really easy recipe. So we will go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start with cutting my zucchini here. And the really fun thing about zucchinis is that it actually contains 3.9 grams of protein. So since you are doing a vegan dish, it's really easy to get your protein in there. And I really just love the way zucchinis taste. Whoops. And it's very easy to cut. Just go all the way down. You can put them in cubes. You can put them in ribbon style. It's really just your preference of how you'd like to do it. And I'm just going to do them in cubes. And just when you're holding your knife, you want to grip it here. And then you have your thumb, and I don't know what finger this is, but just these two fingers here. You hold it just like this, and you just go down. Just a little tip for if you are in the kitchen cooking with a knife. But obviously do what feels comfortable for you.
Yes, nice safety in the kitchen is always a plus. We want to make sure we have safe kitchen
Yes.
kitchen skills. I remember
Yes.
in my cooking days, we learned about the claw grip. I see you doing a little bit of that, which is the claw grip, making sure you don't
Mhm.
get your fingers underneath, so you're cutting the knife right at the edge there. So these are
Yep,
some things we may have spent our entire lives in the kitchen and not ever really thought about our cooking techniques. So it's a good
exactly.
opportunity to also pick up some new cooking techniques.
Yes. So I think before I really started getting more into the kitchen, I used to hold my knife just like this and cut, and then I quickly learned it was a little bit easier to grip it on each side. Um so gotta cut those. Okay. So that's it. Just cut your zucchinis just like that. This was one zucchini, so that's enough protein for me for the night. Next, I will cut my tomatoes. And like I said, you can honestly add any type of vegetable that you want. You can even add in chickpeas, mushrooms, um, broccoli, cauliflower. It's really just your preference um, on what you would like to add. I'm just going based off what I already have in my refrigerator before I go grocery shopping this weekend. So I'm trying to clean out what I already have in my refrigerator. Let's see, and this, I think I measured out 14 tomatoes. You can do a whole container if you'd like. But again, it is just me and I only need leftovers for one day to take with me to work tomorrow. So yes. And the fun thing about going gluten-free is that it really does have a lot of different benefits for you as far as like improved energy, um, reduced headaches. This easier.
And gluten-free diet, certainly, we in the on the clinical place, a lot of people we recommend a gluten-free diet for because it is beneficial for them. But not everyone needs to be. A lot of people do
Mhm.
benefit from a gluten-free diet, but not everyone needs to be gluten-free. So we always like to make that distinction. So we always do gluten-free cooking demos to make sure we accommodate everyone. And certainly there is a lot of value to a gluten-free good gluten-free recipe cookbook that can give you some good options without having to get too much into the overly processed gluten-free
Yeah.
products because we know there's plenty of those. There's a lot of things that are gluten-free that probably aren't that good for us, even though they say gluten-free on them. So now the
Mhm.
pasta that you're making, that's a chickpea pasta you said?
Yes, it is by Simply Nature.
Mhm.
Um, excellent source of fiber, gluten-free and high in iron. It's really all that I could find when I went to the store. I'm trying to think if there was anything in the gluten-free section, but everything was a little empty that day that I went, so I just went with like the first thing I could find. Um, I'm missing a bowl, but now we're gonna go ahead and cut our bell peppers. And you can really cut these any way that you would like. I'm gonna cut them into strips before I put them into little diced squares. Um, so we're gonna go ahead and you can use any color. Since this is like a creamy tomato pasta that I'm making, I just figured to go ahead and just do a red bell pepper. Um, but again, it's really your preference and based off your taste.
And the nice thing about red peppers too, when you think about the antioxidants that are in red peppers, you're getting some vitamin C, you're getting some carotenoids in there.
Yeah.
So with some of those other the red and the orange peppers, they're a little more expensive, but when you're getting a good organic red or an orange bell pepper, you are also getting exposure to some of those other carotenoids and vitamin and antioxidants that are really beneficial for the body and not to mention that they just are tasty.
Yes. And same with the zucchini, you're going to get a lot of iron, a lot of calcium, magnesium. Um, whoops, that looks a decent size. Um,
So it's definitely having a nice, what we want to try and do is get as many colors onto our plate as possible. I'm sure all of you've heard about the rainbow,
Yes.
nutritional rainbow. So we want to get the colors on there. And this is the nice thing about this dish is that you're getting the protein. You're getting a little bit of protein in the veggies, although we want to make sure we're getting the complete proteins too. So we have to look at the amino acid profile, but all of those veggies do have some aspects of protein in them. Plus the pasta is a chickpea pasta. So we're getting protein there. So it's all going to be complementary in terms of the protein profile that you're getting. So it's all mixed together. And this is one of the things when you're making different dishes, if you're looking at the complete nutrient profile of of the foods you're getting in there, especially from a vegan diet, you want to do a little bit of food combining. You want to make sure you're getting some vegetables and some beans and maybe some whole grains and all of those things that are giving you a really robust nutrient profile that's going to give you all of those nice amino acids in your amino acid pool for your body to fully utilize. And
Yeah.
that's what's really great about this particular dish, especially because you're getting the chickpea pasta and you're getting the peppers and the zucchini and all of these things that are going to really add to a very nice nutritional profile. Great dinner, great lunch. I like to eat savory stuff for breakfast too, personally. So
Don't see it.
No.
All right, and next we're gonna just chop the onion. I'm only gonna use half, and hopefully my eyes do not water, but I did rinse it in hot water. So hopefully that helps.
is that a trick?
Yes, it is. It is a trick that I learned when I was in my master's program at Maryland University of Integrative Health. Oh, that off. Usually when I cut onions, my eyes are watering so bad. So if my eyes start watering, I do apologize in advance.
And I noticed you have a nice purple onion there too.
Yes.
Very lovely.
Far so good. No eyes are watering, so I'm happy about that.
Your trick worked.
All right. And you don't have to use a red onion. You can use a yellow onion. But again, I like the taste of the red onion. Ah, there we go. And it's also packed with a lot of nutrients. Right. Okay, so we have all of our vegetables prepped and ready to go. So now is the fun and easy part. So prepping your ingredients only takes about 8 minutes, and in total this dish should take 20 minutes total. 12 minutes to cook and 8 minutes to prep. So you're looking at about 20 minutes, very quick, easy, again, simple dinner. We have our tomatoes, our zucchini, our onion, our bell pepper, our pasta, and then again, this is just the vegan bouillon sauce seasoning that I made, and it's just paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, and then I threw in some oregano, salt, and pepper, and I'm just going to stir that around.
Sounds delicious. And that pasta is uncooked, right? So you're gonna literally, this is a one pot deep meal. You're gonna just throw it all together.
Throw it all together. It is just a one pot meal. So your pasta is gonna go in uncooked. Then you're gonna add, then you're gonna add your bell pepper.
Smells really good. Scraper is a handy kitchen tool. I highly recommend them in every kitchen.
Yes. Go ahead and dump in your zucchini. Tomato. And your onion. Ooh, my eyes are starting to water.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
All right, add in your
That's so beautiful. I love that. So pretty. Very
Then
colorful.
add your seasoning. Like to sprinkle it around. And honestly, when I made the seasoning, I used a teaspoon of each seasoning. So a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a teaspoon of onion powder, but you can obviously season to taste as you go. And then we're going to add in a teaspoon of garlic. I'm using minced garlic because I did not get a garlic clove. We're going to add in just a teaspoon. Gonna grate some lemon zest on top.
Now that's a nice tool too for the kitchen. That's called a microplane if you don't already have one in your kitchen. It's really great for zesting. And the zesting of the lemon or orange, lime, anything that you can zest the peel on gives a really nice extra little dash of flavor on top of any dish that you're making. So the microplanes are a handy tool to have.
Yes. Next, I'm going to take a tablespoon of tomato paste. This is organic tomato paste from Trader Joe's. If I can get it off the spoon. Okay. Then I'm going to take 2 cups of water that I've already measured out. Pour that in there. I'm going to take, you can make your pasta sauce, but I just figured that that would just take more time away. So I just grabbed a pasta sauce from the store. So you're just going to add in a jar of that. And then to make it creamy, my trick is adding in a 1/2 cup of coconut milk. So add that in.
I bet that tastes really delicious.
Right? I'm going to salt. Just a dash of salt. And a dash of pepper before I give it a stir.
Is there anything you could use to replace the tomato sauce for someone that might be avoiding some nightshades? Maybe doing like a pesto. Could this work as a pesto?
Yeah, you could do it as a pesto. It would work all the same. Just take out the tomato paste and the tomato sauce, and then add, instead of 1/2 cup of coconut milk, I would add a cup of coconut milk just for the extra creaminess. But you could definitely use pesto sauce. Okay, so once you give it a mix, then you're going to go ahead and put it on the stove on medium heat for 12 minutes.
That's pretty fast.
Great. And another trick that I learned when I was in school to avoid having so many dishes by the time you're done eating is to wash as you go. It is a lifesaver. And by the time your food is done, all you have to do is wash the pot and the plates that you cook in. So I definitely recommend washing as you go. But that was it. You really just cut up your vegetables, you put everything in a pot, mix the ingredients together, and then you just let it kind of do its thing.
I love it. This is great. So I'd like to hear, I love the one pot recipe idea, and we'll be certainly doing more of these cooking demos, but is there anything else that works in this way, Kyaundra, from your experience, especially on a vegan diet? Sometimes we can, you hear about the one pot, throw everything in a crock pot and make a chili or make a beef stew. But on the vegan side, is there anything that you can think of that you've done that's a one pot recipe for other types of foods?
Yeah. So my mom is from Trinidad and my dad is from Haiti. So we do a lot of traditional cooking when the family gets together. And usually I'm the one that does all the cooking. So when everyone is together, they eat vegan. And one of my favorite recipes to do is a vegan chickpea curry. It all just goes in one pot with the potatoes, the carrots, the chickpeas, the curry sauce. And it's again just a one pot, really simple. You leave it in there for about 30 minutes and then you put it over some rice and you enjoy, and it's really good.
Love it. Okay, that's great. So I'm going to just chime in here on the shared spotlight for a minute, and we've got some questions coming in. And I welcome any other questions too. While I know things are on the stove, and we may, Tiana's just cooking that up for her dinner, but we saw the important stuff, which was the prep part. But got a question that how much brown rice should the average vegan eat per meal? And I would say just, in terms of grains in general, brown rice is a good grain, but I do recommend mixing it up. So I wouldn't say that brown rice should be eaten every meal. I would say, certainly have a cup of cooked brown rice a day. That's totally fine. Mix it up with maybe some quinoa or millet. And millet is an excellent ancient grain.
Yeah.
I really love millet. It's a
I love
protein
millet.
source because it's actually a seed. And millet's one of those really delicious, little earthy, but it's so good. And you can do so much with millet. So I encourage, anyone that's following a more stricter vegan diet to look at all of the ancient grains and explore them. You've got buckwheat, another great option on a vegan diet. And don't worry about the wheat part. It's actually not a wheat. Buckwheat is actually gluten-free.
Yep.
Just it's a delicious option as well for that. So these are some options on the grain side that you can think about that you're not just focused in on brown rice. That you give yourself some options and really mix it up a little bit. Kyaundra, anything to add to that?
No, I agree. I definitely switch it up a lot. I used to do brown rice pretty much with every meal, but then I did start getting into millets. Also, I do a lot of quinoa. I'm trying to think. I've done, what is it called? Is it farro?
Farro. Farro. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's farro, there's teff, there's quinoa, kashi. There's a lot of different grains out there that are really a great option. Wheat berries can be an option too. I'm seeing some things coming in the chat. So certainly wheat berries could be an option. Wheat berries do have gluten. So if one's following a gluten-free diet, they may want to stay away from wheat berries themselves, but wheat berries could also be an option. So there's a lot of different options there. Good question, Tomlin. Thank you. And another question you had, should you eat some form of grain in every meal? Well, my opinion on that is that from a balanced perspective, we should have a complex carbohydrate in every meal, whether it's a bean or a grain. We can mix them together, and again, food combining. And I'm going to switch. I think my headset's powering off here. Can you hear me okay still? Okay.
The one thing that we can think about is also looking at the different types of complex carbohydrates. So that's something we could also look at. Kyaundra, anything that you want to?
Yeah, I agree with Wendy. Adding in the complex carbohydrate definitely is good. Oops, almost broke that. Sorry. Just trying to get these dishes out the way so I don't have to worry about them afterwards.
You're doing a full demonstration, right? This is a full cooking demo, dishes and all. So your thoughts, definitely those complex carbohydrates, and making sure that
Yes.
those complex carbohydrates also serve as our protein in a vegan diet. So so we definitely, I mean, again, vegetables do have some protein in them. They're small amounts and they don't all have the same amino acid profile.
Amino acids, yeah.
Yeah, but we definitely, when you start combining like the beans and the grains, and then you think about tofu or tempeh and things like that in the mix, then you're starting to look at a more robust protein or amino acid profile. So grains every meal, not completely necessary, but I think that having some combination of foods that get you that full protein profile is going to be important. Marley, great to see you. Thanks for joining us. So, any other questions for tonight? This is a good conversation. So, Kyaundra, I love that you were giving us, like I said, a very bright rainbow type of palette tonight. We have the red peppers and the green from the zucchini. You saw the purple onions, so colorful. I love it. And you got the grain. Well, we've got the chickpea pasta in there. And I don't know is that chickpea pasta mixed with rice, or is that just a straight chickpea pasta?
We need double check.
Let's investigate.
Let's do some investigating.
And this is another thing too. It's really important to read food labels when you're shopping. So you could have a great recipe, but when you're starting to buy things that are boxed like pasta or other blends of things, you want to definitely take a look at the back to make sure you know what you're actually getting.
All right. So this is all chickpea.
Very nice. Okay.
Yep. All chickpea. And
So
again, it is the Simply Nature.
Okay. Simply Nature. And it's so we got a good protein count on that, I would imagine.
Protein. 20 grams.
Pretty good. Okay, I would say that's a good robust meal for a vegan in terms of protein. And Tom, homemade tomato paste. I don't know, Kyaundra, is that in your wheelhouse? I have no idea. My husband makes homemade tomato sauce all the time, but not paste.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Is it how to make homemade tomato paste?
Oh, that's a good question. Now that I have not done, I have done like my own tomato sauce and things in that nature, but I've never done tomato paste. So I will have to try that out and get back to you all on that one.
So someone in the chat said to dehydrate. Yeah, that's my thought is you probably have to dehydrate or, like puree and really get all the juice out of it to make it a paste. So that's cook it down. Yeah, dehydrate, like pull out all the juice in it and really get it thick. So Kyaundra, how's that pasta looking? It looks like you just pulled it off the stove there.
Yes, I switched to a different pot just because it was overflowing. So I switched it to a different pot. But let me give you a little look. Stir it up.
Fantastic. Well, she's got her dinner plans ready.
It's sizzling, so let me take my camera off and I will show you what it is looking like. Let's see if I can get the light on. Light. Okay. That's me. We don't want it on me. This is what it's looking like right now. So it is coming along and it will simmer all together and it will be hopefully delicious.
I bet everyone's feeling hungry now.
So I moved it up to a higher level just to speed up the process a little bit.
Excellent. Great. Looks fantastic, Kyaundra. Well, thank you so much. I think you're going to have a great dinner. We all wish we were a little closer to you so we could come over and have a bite. So thanks all for coming tonight. We wanted to keep this short and sweet. We wanted to really demonstrate how you could do a very simple meal in 20 minutes. And I think Kyaundra's very nicely done that. She's shown us kind of the almost finished product there. And you can see with all of even just the prepping and everything, it was a pretty simple meal. So what we'll be doing is getting the recipes out to all of you. We'll also have the replay of this in case you wanted to go back and check anything that you missed. But again, thank you all for coming. Be sure to check out our clinic if you're not a current patient at Sage Integrative Health. We certainly invite you to come online to sageintegrativehealth.com, schedule a 15-minute free phone consultation. From this participating in this cooking demonstration. If you
Yes.
use the Cooking with Sage discount code, will give you 15% off of an initial consultation. So please don't hesitate to take advantage of that. Thank you all again for coming out tonight. We wish you all a wonderful week. Happy eating.
Yes, and please definitely make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook. I will be posting a photo of the final product. And yes, thank you for all attending. I had a very good time.
Thank you all.